Hey, what's going on, great people? It's your brother again, the Nubian King. But listen, tonight I got a confession. I told you on the inscription that I have a confession. And this is about life experiences, something that I've experienced on many occasions that I want to talk to you tonight about. Okay? Here we go. Let's see, how do I want to start? I want to just give you a little history about me. I was born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia, 1961. That means that, I was there when Martin Luther King, the riots, and all of those things was going on with us as a people. So, we live that life. We lived that life in Atlanta, Georgia, and we went through all of what we went through in those days. And yes, I was marching, protesting, picketing, sitting in, and whatever else we felt we needed to do to bring about a better life that we all were seeking. And as time went on, just moving around Atlanta back in those days, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, what have you. Being a young brother, ran into the conscious community, Nation of Islam, Shrine of the Black Madonna. And that's where I initially learned about Africa and African, history, our history, the who, what, when, where. I really enjoyed those classes that the Shrine of the Black Madonna gave. It's beautiful classes on Africa. I got involved with that when I was 17, and very interesting. I mean, I'm like really, really caught up in this whole Africa piece, man. This is beautiful, wow. And from that, being introduced to Africa, Umojo, that was one of the things they said a lot over there at the Shrine of the Black Madonna, Ashby Street, Atlanta, Georgia. Umojo, And then some of the brothers and sisters knew some, small, African language, tree, what have you, different things. And that was good. That's where I really began to be introduced to, the conscious community. Also food. But, growing up in an environment with the riot, all the racism, and yes, I've been called nigger by white people. It caused you to develop a certain type of, feelings against those people that do you like that. And it's not that it just be, I'm feeling this way about Mark, the guy that did that. You began to kind of feel that way about all of them. So life goes on, and I grow, and began to really get involved in the conscious community. And wow. It's really amazing how thoughts can be injected into your mind without you even being aware that you have been programmed. And I'm here today to make a confession that because of my programming in the conscious community and learning so much about our history, our great history as a people, sitting in those classes, talking to those brothers and sisters, Umojo, Uhuru, Abifranotuhu, Africa. I just realized this year, which is 2021, July, but this revelation didn't come just now. It actually took place last month, which was the month of June in 2021. And believe it or not, I'll be 60. Today is 12. I'll be 60 in 12 more days. And at this age, what I'm about to share with you, like they say, it's better late than never. Nevertheless, my confession is that I have held a disdainment to a certain extent to those people. And how did I come about this? Realization that I've been holding that type of mindset. You know, when you can be involved in these groups and movements, you don't realize that you're being programmed to hate another people. Even though they never say that, the word hate is never mentioned. When they talk so much about one subject, you don't even realize the impact that it's having on your psyche and your perception of someone else or something else. When they always talk about black men in a negative sense, and they never say nothing to black sisters, that you don't need these useless Negroes. They never say that. But they always saying something negative about the brother. And at a certain point, it will begin to impact the thinking of not just sisters, but other people in general. That's called stereotyping and character assassination that cause a negative connotation to develop in other people about black guys. So, with me being a part of, the conscious community, and we're constantly learning about our history, and how great we are in Africa, and all the great things we've contributed to the civilization of planet Earth, and all the great things we've contributed to the building of America, and all the great things we have done as great people, you're like, wow, it's good to be a brother. But then here he come with some bullshiggity about me on his network that he controlled. So over the years, that had unconsciously developed a very, very bad taste about him and them. And you never even realize it. Well, some people do, but in reality, I didn't realize it. Just how deep it was. And so the confession tonight is I've held my heart closed to them for all these years. And I have met a great number, a large number of good people, Europeans, that have done me nothing but good. Constantly, over and over and over and over, nothing but good. My heart was closed because of that education at a young age about how great black men are and black women, you know, and then growing up in the South and experiencing that racism. I mean, you know, I had to be honest with you. I didn't really care for them like that. But the level is what I didn't really realize until actually just last month. So that's my confession, that I've had my heart closed to any of them. And I really, you know, wow. You know what's really, well, I think this is really good because I'm aware of it and I've corrected it. It didn't take me long, I corrected it. Now, let me be a little bit more specific and clear so that you can understand me. What I'm talking about is, you know, good people from amongst them. And I have to admit, this was a big one for me to call a white boy my friend. Whew, wow. Let me get busy here. Let me tell you. Y'all know I'm in Israel. I've been living here for 40 years. And in 40 years, I met a lot of Israelis. Lots in 40 years. And do you know, honestly, I can't, on one hand, I can't even think of 5 Israelis that I know that I can say that did me wrong. Just one, I know right off the top of my head, just one. I mean, wrong to the point where it was wrong. Now, you know, you have to understand, Israelis, those white people, they are who they are, okay? And you have to understand the nature of a person, which means that is their character. That's who they are. You understand? And that don't necessarily mean what they did to you was something personal. They was really trying to do you dirty. It's just what they do. That's their nature. And they look at you tripping and steaming and boiling and going through all what you're going through, and they trying to understand what's wrong with Richard. Well, you know, because you hollered at him. You raised your voice at him. Okay, what's the problem? The problem is you raise your voice at him. He mad. What? Because in America, you raise your voice at somebody at work, and it even sounds disrespectful, it's going to be a problem. But here in Israel, it's a way that they talk, you know, that is really, you can say it's disrespectful, but in actuality it's not. That's the way they talk. You know, nothing personal. Nothing personal. Wow. That was an incredible lesson for me, to learn how not to take certain things personal. I didn't even understand what that mean. Give you an example. When I first came to Israel out of America, me being an alpha male, strong spirit, it didn't take much to tick me off. And Israelis was doing it constantly all day long. Because I didn't understand the culture. You know, you moving through the market, shopping, somebody bump into you, Keep going. Don't say excuse me. Step on your toe. Keep going. Don't say excuse me. And I'm flaming. And boom, here's somebody else. While I'm sitting up there flaming because he just did it. Boom, another guy come through. You know, then here come the women with the cart that they carrying the food in, and they looking that way and pulling the cart behind and don't even realize they done hook you up in the cart. And they look around, snatching the cart, thinking you trying to, woo, boy. So coming out of that cultural conscious community and hearing all these beautiful things about us as a people, and being born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia in the 60s during them days, man. What we thought about him wasn't 2 peas in a pot. And let me get a little further into this explanation. Over here in Israel, I work, professional work, you know, operate cranes. Now I'm delivering diesel fuel. And the crane has been very, very good to me and my family. You know, the money has been good, you know, and it's been great, say the least. And I met a lot of beautiful people since I've been here in Israel. And I know generally in the conscious community, you don't hear black people saying anything that good about too many white people. And that's the point that I want to speak to you about. Wow. Kind of bear with me because this has been an incredible revelation. Basically, it's getting past your prejudice about another people based upon your experiences. Well, I work with a crane company here in Israel owned by an Israeli named Yossi. Excuse me. Yossi. And Yossi, he owned the company. Several operators, we doing big work, you know, so anything in those loans, in those area industries, crane, you know, energy, big trucks, that's some heavy money when you got it going on. Sometimes, you know, people actually have went under, but on the other hand, a lot of people, you understand, done exceptionally well. Yossi's been doing it for 2-3 decades. A lot of people know him. So you don't have to really just be going around scavenging for work because so many people know him, you know, they always contact him. Nevertheless, I'm working with him, and hey, I'm just me. I'm another operator in his company. But certainly you want to put the best foot forward when it comes to people ecology and relating to other people on the job. You want to be as professional as you can, not, you know, going overboard, but you just want to have a good day. You know, they go to work, you go to work. You know, you just want to have a good day. So you tend to be cordial. And in being that, Yossi in particular, the owner of the company, he just took a liking to me. You understand? The first day I met him, he took me over to one of the cranes I would be operating, and we talked. It was he and one of his sons. He has 3 sons, and one of his sons was with us. We, you know, everything like that. So he said, "Richard, you're going to be operating this crane and yada, 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 all the little details about the crane, what have you." I said, "Okay, cool." You know, so he told me the starting date. Great. Got to working. He checking on me. "Hey, Richard, everything all right?" "Yeah, pretty good." "Crane okay?" "Yeah, no problem." So time went on, and Yossi and I developed a friendship. Then it went beyond the friendship to more or less like relative. I mean, old boy was cool with me and did a lot of stuff for me that you do not experience from the owner of the company that you working in. You just an employee. I mean, they're the millionaire, got all the money and doing what they want to do. And you working for the company that has caused him to be a millionaire, you understand? So he don't have to associate with you for what? You're just a worker. But Yossi and I was like brothers, man. He thought. I mean, he invited me to his house several times. I went, met his wife, met all his other sons, met some of his friends, ate at his table with him and his friend. We laughing, chopping it up, you know, and he had a son. One of his sons plays the keyboard. Whoa, I play the keyboard, but I play by ear. You know, the son, he read the music and all of that. I don't do that. I play by ear. So I banged out some rhythms on the keyboard, and he liked it. Everybody liked it. Yeah, you know, black man. So just about every time we go over to Yossi's house, he asked me, he said, Richard, you feel like banging on them keys a little bit? Yeah, why not? We done had a good meal and sitting around chopping it up, laughing. So he said, hey, Richard, you feel like, because I had this nice little like jazz rhythm that I play. He really liked it. So anyway, we'd fellowship, kick it, what have you. And he did a lot of stuff for me that employers don't do. I like the mic and everything to be centered. And he had this spot that he used to like to hang out in up there in the city of Ashdod. And he called me up, hey, what you doing, man? Dude, nothing, man. I'm just at the house. Man, why don't you jump on up with us, you know, knock a few coals out with me, you know me, my treat, you know, I'm at the spot. I'm like, yeah, why not? So I hop in the ride, company car. He gave me the car. So I hop in the ride, boogie on up there, boogie. In the place, you know, he's sitting there with all his partners, everybody laughing and joking. Hey, Richard! Yeah, I go in, sit down, chill. And dude did a lot of stuff for me. Way beyond an owner of a company that you working for. We got so cool, he would tell people that I'm his brother from another mother. It's my brother. But, you know, remember now, I'm born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia. I came up through the conscious community. We was rioting and doing all kind of stuff. Mojo, I told you that. I laid all that out for you. But there was never a time that anyone said you should close your heart and spirit and not like and don't trust and hate white people. No one never said that. I spent time learning about us and how great we are as a people. But it subconsciously caused me to lock up my ability to even believe that a white man could be good. That's how deep that was. So now I'm in Israel, and I'm working with a cat that's calling me his brother. Do you know I worked with him 4.5 years? In those 4.5 years, we swung tough. I mean, one time, he was like, we were sitting in office, me, him, secretary, and another cat named Isak, okay? Isak was his boy. Isak was, he and Isak were cool. They running partners. So I'm sitting there, me, Yossi, Isak, and the secretary. And we just sitting there kind of chilling. And Yossi said, you know what? He said, Richard, what? You one of us now. I'm like, huh? You know, a lot of people want to be in the clique with us, me, Yesik, and there was one other dude. He wasn't in office. He was on the crane working. He said, but I don't want nobody in my clique. But you one of us. Matter of fact, next month we jump into the Philippines. I want you to go with us. No, I ain't talking about no money, man. Everything on me. You just pack your bags. You going with us. I'm like, how long we gonna be there? What do I care? He was the owner of the company I'm working for. He said, pack your bag. You on my dime. We going to Philippines to do a balagan. Balagan in Hebrew is like have some fun, you know, have a good time. Balagan is actually a mess, a problem, you know. So anyway, he said, hey man, just pack your bags. You going with me, Yesik. We're going to go down there and do some balagan. I said, okay. Basically, in that sense of using the balagan, it basically was like, we're going to have some fun. Okay, cool. Yeah. Then another time, I remember I was talking with him, and I said, man, my back hurt. You say your back hurt? What's happening? Ooh, I think my mattress need change. I think I need a new mattress. He said, really? Yeah. Man, go and look for one. He said, if it's a good price, I'll buy me one too. I went, found a nice mattress. $1,000, he paid it. No problem. Whole bunch of stuff this guy did and called me his brother. But you know what? The problem is my heart and my spirit, psyche and everything was closed off to allowing any white man to come into my mind as my friend. And I'm gonna tell you, I blew that relationship. I blew it because I didn't believe that he was serious. I couldn't believe he was serious because he was white. He's an Israeli. What do you mean Israeli calling him black? You know, most of me were thinking, yeah, he just saying that because you his top operator. He just want to keep stroking you because, you know, we studied the slave history and all of that and what they do to black people and how they, laugh in your face, that nigga. So, you know, he telling me all this good stuff. I didn't believe it was true. Nevertheless, I come to find out he was sincere. And I kind of feel bad behind that. What happened that I say, you know, kind of messed the relationship up? I had an accident on the job. Insurance paid, they paid, the company paid and everything. But what happened, the company, they kind of overpaid me. But the girl, the secretary, she don't speak, you know, Israelis can have a real bad way of explaining stuff to you. You know, because the language Hebrew is a third person known kind of language. It's a spiritual based language. So it's like if we talking about something, like if I'm talking about this artifact here on the wall, you and I, we talking about the artifact. So I don't have to keep saying artifact. I can say who, it, you know what I'm saying? So you know, and I know, and we know what we're talking about, this. The language Hebrew is the same way. But me transitioning out of the Western world English-based language, there's been many times that I have totally misunderstood what was being said to me in Hebrew, and I speak fluent Hebrew. It's the way this is wired. You see, they've been over here studying in the Hebrew Bible, the Tanakh, and the other things in Hebrew. We was in America studying English. So it can sometimes be a mistranslation. I got much better as my Hebrew increased. I stopped misunderstanding more as my Hebrew increased. Okay. Nevertheless, the secretary did a good job at explaining to me the details about the way the insurance worked. Only thing she could say is I owe the company 5,000 shekels. I'm like, what? That's like $1,500, something like that, more or less. And I'm like, what? How the hell? I'm the one who had the accident. What you talking about? Oh, y'all, you know. So she was not, no, you know. She couldn't explain it. Then Yossi, he didn't do a good job. And I kind of, you know, like, man, I never paid the money. I said, dude, I'm the one that was laid up in the house for 3 months, all busted up. How I owe you money? You know, anyway, that damaged the relationship. Well, I moved on, finished working, we did the project. So now I'm working a diesel fuel truck. All right, so Yossi, they was right. They was sincere. They wasn't lying. They just couldn't explain it worth, you know. Anyway, that relationship, when I found out exactly what was going on with the insurance and how it worked, because they changed it from when, you know, I had an accident many years ago. And I'm thinking that the system was still the same, but they changed it. Anyway, when I found out exactly what it was, I contacted Yossi, and I told him, man, you know, I blew because I misunderstood that whole piece. He like, hey, man, don't worry about it. You know, we cool. You know, he said, matter of fact, it's good you called, man. I was just thinking about you and talking about you to some dude, friend of his, you know. So we chopped it up a little bit. And he said, hey, man, anytime you want, drop by the house, just like before. Well, you know, that didn't happen, but I moved on. That's what happened in life. You move on. Anyway, I'm driving a diesel fuel truck now for big corporation Soleil Bonnet. And there's another guy out here named Doron. And Doron has been a brother to me. Doron has been like a brother. He done looked out for me on many occasions. I can't even go into. But tonight, I want to share with you that I finally got to a point of being able to open my heart and mouth and say that a white dude is a friend. Matter of fact, I told him last month, he had did something that was so incredible that I said, you know what, dude, you need to get him. You need to give it to him. So I called him and I explained it to him. And Doron and I, we trained, you know, he was my trainer for almost 3 months. So we was riding the same truck. He was driving, I was riding, learning how to do the system the way that they got it laid out. And we in that truck for 3 months. You can't be around me, you know, no long period of time and don't be positively affected by my spirit. So anyway, we in that truck talking about everything. He's like 40 something, I'm 60, so I'm like almost 20 years his senior, right? So we laughing and chopping it up, talking about, he asking questions because he had never been, you know, in the presence of a brother from America that knew things the way I do and saw things the way I see things the way I do. So anyway, he talked, we talked, I talked, he talked, that boy, we talked, I mean, for 3 months. And did he ask questions? He asked me questions as if like a white man had been waiting to be able to ask a brother these questions. And we got into it deep. The N word, you know, we talking about everything. And he became very warm with me. You know, he was like, wow, just really impressed to no end. And I know basically I was like the ambassador to black people because the Israelis living over here in the country, they are in full control of living, laughing, loving, doing what they want to do and don't have no interaction with, you know, us watching the TV or somebody telling them something. But anyway, wow. That was something. We developed a friendship. And now that friendship is turned into like a brotherhood. And he did something last month to help me out, push things forward for me. that I was thinking about. I was riding down the road and I was thinking about, I said, dude, you know what, you need to talk with Doron. So I did. I called Doron and I told him, I said, hey, bro, hold on 1 second, I need to get this up out of here. I said, Doron, bro, I need to holler at you right quick. And he was like, okay, what's up? Hold on 1 second. Got my juice in the freezer. I leave it in there too long. The bottle will bust. We don't want that. I know that was different, wasn't it? So anyway, I called Doron. I told him, I said, hey, bro, what's up, man? He said, hey, yeah, man, it's all good. Yeah. What's happening? What's on your mind? I said, Doron, let me tell you something, bro. I said, you know, me and you, we done been through a lot together. He said, yeah, that's right. You call me brother. He said, yeah, you my brother. I feel you like a brother. I said, okay. I said, I want to be honest with you, man. Up until now, I never let you in. He said, what do you mean? You know, as a black man, Doron, it's been kind of hard to say a white guy is my friend. Ooh, and my brother? Because of the things I've gone through and some of that stuff that I shared with you, you didn't know it had actually developed a force field against white people where I felt like I couldn't trust them. But I want you to know, Doron, that the time that you and I have been together in these more than 2 years, you have honestly shown me that you are sincere. And for the very first time in my life, brother, I can honestly say that you, being a white dude, is my friend. Brother, you got to understand, man. That took a lot for me to say that. I said, I want you to know that, man. I want you to know that you have helped me to realize, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that there are good people in the European world that really honestly are not out to get me. I said, now, I know you don't understand all the details of what I've gone through as a person, but I want you to know today that I honestly have accepted you as my friend and feel you like a brother. Just like not only the things that you say to me, Doron, but the things that you have done, because you know as well as I do, hey, you can fix your mouth to say anything. Good morning, shalom, shalom, shmi, ariyo shalom. Ani, you can say anything. But what you have been doing for me as an individual, brother, you have won my trust. That's it. That's what I told him. A white dude. Can you imagine that? Born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia, been through riots and sit-ins and all kind of racial stuff, being called a nigger, and then I come over here to Israel, and an Israeli got me to say, you my friend? I think that's really also real good because it shows growth and development. It actually manifests my consciousness that I know everybody don't think the same. All white people ain't bad. And I've said that to some more brothers and sisters. They said, what do you mean? Ain't no such thing as a good white man. I didn't say there's a good white man. I said all white people are not bad. Just like all black people are not bad. You got good and bad on both sides. So no one person can stand up and say, we the greatest. You have great among you, just like we do. You understand? So when you associate with each other and you go through different things to get to know each other, and through your works proves who you are. That's how that happened. That's how that happened. You to just sit up and listen to somebody talk all that smack, them words, do it. That's the key, do it. And so my confession, people, my family, beautiful people that took time out of your busy schedules to listen to me, the Nubian King, is that for 60 years, I have not allowed any white person in my heart or psyche as my friend. But that has changed now. I have one white dude that I know is my friend based upon what he's done for me. Now, the guy that owned this condo, I'm going to tell you about him in another time. I don't want to be long. That's long enough. What, it's been like 38 minutes? But that's my confession. I've finally grown to a point to be able to allow a white dude in my mind as my friend. Enjoyed talking to you. You know, I hope you enjoyed, got something out of it. I'm always here for you. I like, sharing things with you because my objective is to help strengthen your mind and help you to elevate to higher levels of consciousness so that you can do better in your life. The power of this mind, you can call it to you whatever you want to do, whatever you desire to do. So anyway, that's enough tonight. That's my confession. I had been closed-hearted to other people, especially white folks, but I don't grew up. So now, because I have that ability to confess and say those things, let's see what the next round gonna be. This has been your great brother, Nubian King, and love you with a perfect love. All right? Don't ever want you to feel that you're out there by yourself. And what did I say? I love you with a perfect love. Hey, but I also love you from the basement of my heart to the attic of my mind. I love you 24/7. That means all the time. Shalom. Yep.